Hi everyone, and welcome to my Halloween art journal page. I've done this in the Art by Marlene Perfect size album, and in there I'm just pulled out one of the pages. Now what I've done here is this is some Japanese calligraphy paper that I have used to print some images that I purchased from Journalprintkit. It's an Etsy store. I'll put a link in the description. It was a really affordable digital printing kit. It had an amazing amount of images on it, and I think it cost me like $2.20 or something, and they were already resized, came in various sizes. So what I did was I had some Japanese calligraphy paper that I had ordered off eBay, I think it was, and so I just printed that using my laser printer, and I ended up getting 2 images on the one sort of A4 sheet, which was fantastic. And then all I'm doing here is I'm using some water with a paintbrush. Yes, it's dirty water from paint, but it doesn't matter. And I'm just trimming off the excess to just leave the image there and get rid of some of the white. You can see I'm struggling a little bit there for the end. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to get this background, and you're going to then collage over the top. So with the edges of my page, I just used acrylic ink. It was by Stamperia. I think the colours were corn and cookies. And then I've covered the whole of the white area of the page with matte medium. It's one of my favourite ones to use. It's multi-matte medium by Ranger. I find it easiest to use. So just cover majority of the middle of that page there till you get to the edges, and then put your calligraphy paper down. And then using my brush and a little bit more of my matte medium, I usually start in the centre of the image and work my way out, because then you're making sure that you're getting rid of all the air bubbles that might be trapped in the paper. And especially if you're doing this, and this is just smaller than about A5 size, I think, don't push too hard. The calligraphy paper is probably a little bit more robust than, say, rice paper. Apologies if I said rice paper before. It's Japanese calligraphy paper. So using the brush, again, I'm trying to move some of those air bubbles out by just pressing a little bit hard, but not hard enough that I'm actually going to tear any of the paper that I'm working on. So all I do after that is just dry off with my heat gun, and then using the same colours, the paint that I had out before, and a sponge. It's just as easy to then go around the edges again, because now it's about blending those edges of this calligraphy paper to what it is already there in your background, so that it doesn't stand out so starkly. So just using a sponge. And again, the beauty of using a sponge at this point in time, or even paint at this point in time, you can see several times where I feel like I've gone up over the top of the image too much, and I feel like it might be taking over or covering up some bits that I'd still like to see. Because you've used the multi-matte medium on there, you've put that covering or that layer over the top of your calligraphy paper. It's just it's really easy to remove the excess paint. So even with using your finger or a wet baby wipe, or even a dry tissue, it's really easy to remove that excess paint, because it kind of just sits on top. But I do like using my finger a little bit to kind of blend some of that acrylic paint downwards into the picture, so it helps to make the blend a little bit easier. Now sometimes if the edges are too stark, you may need to just dry off and do a couple of layers a few times, so that the edges don't look as stark or they don't stand out as much. Knowing that I am going to be doing more layering, this is the Dusty Attic Stencil, number 2 Damask stencil, DA1707, and I'm using it with some Simon Hurley Lunar paste in the tangent, which is that beautiful vibrant neon orange. So what I've done here, you've just caught me doing the end of the stenciling, but I just need to remind you, take your time when it comes to this. And if you don't have any of this particular medium to use, it's okay. Just maybe get some gel medium and some paint and mix them together, because you can make your own pastes as well. Do it a little bit at a time and make sure you dry. Now here's another lot of printables that I very quickly went through, but I'll go through those again later on in the video when we come back to them. What I'm spraying here is some Lindy's Stamp Gang sprays. This one has been one of my favorites. It's called Golden Lump of Coal. And again, you can see, because we've got that medium, multi-medium on my image, if I've sprayed too much over my image and I wanted to remove some of the spray, I just kind of want it on the edges, I can go ahead and remove that with a dry baby wipe. And then I can go ahead and I can dry off. The beauty of using the Lindy's Stamp Gang, I think these are Starburst sprays, these ones, the Golden Lump of Coal is the color, is that you can go back and layer spray again and again until you get the density or the intensity that you want. And it leaves you that beautiful gold shimmer that you can see in the picture as I hold it up to the light. For those of you that are wondering what's on my work table when I was doing this, it's actually half a puppy training pad. So it helps to pick up a lot of the wetness or liquid if I'm doing a lot of spraying and stamping. Now you can see me here using this beautiful cutout image of the little witch, and this was another set. I believe this set was from MidwestPaperie. I'll have to check, but I'll put all the links to whatever I've used in this in the description anyway, so you can go back and have a look. It might be the same company that I had listed before for the that I printed the background on, but again, like I said, I'll go back and I'll list some stuff in the descriptions. Now this step I probably really should have done before I did my stenciling, but better late than never, right? Just using a little bit of a scripty stamp with some archival black soot and going around the page a little bit, and just coming in from the edges a tiny bit, so it gives it a little bit more interest and breaks up, I guess, the plainness of the edges as well. You can see here that the edges of the collage paper is hardly noticeable anymore because we've done some beautiful layering over the top. And that's the beauty of collaging, right? It's being able to stick down what you need and make it look good, or until you feel good. Now, I also used a couple of pieces out of the Tim Holtz Halloween Ephemera pack. You can see there's a little skeleton man. You know, looks like he's doing a little dance. So I've just used some glue in a fine-tipped bottle. I dispense my big jars of glue into a small fine-tipped bottle. And then I've glued him down, or placed him down first. And then my little witch with her Halloween carved pumpkin goes down, but I don't stick her all the way down in one corner just yet, because I still have that yowling, screaming black cat with the red eyes and red mouth to go down as well. So I pop the little witch down in the corner, and then get my little cat and make sure that I've got enough glue on the edges of that, especially around the ears. It doesn't take a lot, and this is just white glue, and it does dry clear, so if a little bit oozes out from the sides, it's no big deal. You just wipe off and it all dries nice and clear. So now that I've stuck on those focal pieces to the front, I'm using a chipboard sentiment that comes out of the Tim Holtz Ideaology Baseboards and Transparencies Halloween pack. I really did enjoy that pack as well, but I love the fact that they've got these raised Halloween black backgrounds with the white writing on it, and it just sets off my page beautifully, I think. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed this video and the ease that you can see to make your own collage papers as well. And hopefully, if you liked this video, you can subscribe and get some more notifications for the next time I do some videos. Thank you.